let's bring Mark onto the program. Mark, and let's get an update on the IHR, the health regulations from the World Health Organization.
Yeah, this is just the standard following through that UK column does to keep people informed about this all-important topic. Of course, as we've said, one of the most tragic things that could happen would be for a full-fledged pandemic treaty or instrument to be passed with all the inherent tyranny that it could hold. And the IHR, the International Health Regulations, could be even worse, as we've heard. This site we're showing here, Governing Pandemics, this is a newly discovered site that seems to have a lot of concise and accurate information. I'm not sure about its political bias so much. It's governingpandemics.org. Kind of a strange title, Governing Pandemics. I thought pandemics are something you prevent or whatever. Anyway, it says the timeline of efforts to strengthen global pandemic preparedness and response in light of the COVID-19 crisis. And then moving on from there, we have basically the outline of what's going on. What just wound up 17 through 21 July was the sixth meeting of the intergovernmental negotiating body of the WHO and continuation of meetings of the drafting group. And what's basically happening as we speak, ending today, 21 through 24 July, the joint plenary meetings of the intergovernmental negotiating body and the IHR group, the working group of the IHR. And coming up very soon, basically today through the 28th of July, the fourth meeting of the IHR World Working Group, And then in September, we have more meetings, September 4th through 6th, additional INB session and drafting group. INB, of course, is the intergovernmental negotiating body. The 20th of September, the UN high-level meeting on pandemic preparedness, prevention, and response. That's a pretty big one there, September 20. I believe there's one more we can announce. Viewers can take notes of these things to get involved if they so choose. The 2nd through the 6th of October, the fifth meeting of the working group of the International Health Regulations. And those regulations, of course, were first hatched in the late 1960s, updated in 2005, and now they're really being fine-tuned according to WHO critics, including James Roguski, a WHO in-depth researcher out of LA, and Scott Tipps of the Codex Alimentarius, who heads up the National Health Federation. He's looking into these things too a little bit. And here we have a little bit more information. This is from Roguski's website, jamesroguski.substack.com, Roguski. He even says that you can call him at his U.S. number. He's very open about it. That's 310-310-619-3055. He's comfortable with that. And it says here briefly, thousands of people around the world are working to expose the truth about the WHO itself and to raise awareness of the people in their nations regarding the pandemic treaty and the proposed additional amendments to the IHR regs that are currently being negotiated. I just gave the schedule for most of this year, as well as the amendments to the IHR, which were adopted in May last year and can still be rejected, as I underlined, by every nation on earth, but only if we take action before the end of November this year. And as I mentioned before, when the WHO doesn't hear anything from the population or from politicians that disagree with the direction they're going, they assume that that's consent. That's just the way it works. Now, this next slide that's pretty much just winds it up here. We're showing the delegates. There's Britain's chief delegate to these negotiations for the pandemic treaty. His name is Will Quince. That's his photo to the left. And America's chief negotiator is the head of Department of Health and Human Services, Xavier Becerra, shown to the right. Just a quick note for familiarity's sake. And going from there, I think that just about winds it up in terms of the essential information, just to keep viewers updated. And they can get involved, of course. There's still time, especially before November.
Yes, brilliant. Thank you, Mark. So November is a key date then for what's happened up to this point in getting that rejected. So we'll encourage people to get involved in that. Now, if you like the UK column, you'd like to support us, please head over to community.ukcolumn.org. There are options for you to join as a member, and you'll be very welcome to the community. Or you could pick something up in the UK column shop. But please do share any material you find on the various platforms, especially ukcolumn.org and ukcolumnextracts.co.uk. And David, we're just going to mention one article here.
Yes, a beautifully written article that's really useful on the subject of migration and immigration, and it's so rare to find a good article on this subject. This is by Irene Lahost, and it's on our website now. And it looks at all of the arguments surrounding this with a calmness that's really refreshing. So I would encourage people to seek that one out.
And if it, so hold on. So that's called Let's Talk About France, a story of mitigation for people that are just listening to the program today. Next, I just want to tell you what's happening at 1 p.m. tomorrow at ukcolumn.org/live. And also on Thursday, we're going to have some of the presentations from the Great Net Zero debate, which Sandy Adams held at Glastonbury Town Hall on the 7th of July. Many of you haven't seen those. And so we're going to show those at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and then more of it on 1 p.m. on Thursday. But David, coming back to you then, a quick advertisement for Free Our Streets.
Yeah, sorry, I was jumping ahead there. Yes, Free Our Streets, we have a meeting in Edinburgh on Tuesday the 25th at the Augustine United Church in King George IV Bridge in Edinburgh. And that's 7 till 9. And this is part of the Free Our Streets campaign. And just a quick look at what Free Our Streets, as part of the Together campaign, is actually about. Well, amongst other things, they want to safeguard open debate and free speech. They want the freedom to congregate and protest. And they say that medical treatment must never be mandated, and freely given informed consent without coercion is essential. Medical treatment should never be a condition of employment or of participating in society in any way. And amen to that.
Indeed. Okay, let's